The Husqvarna 325iLK battery line trimmer, 4-year review. Does it stand up to the day-to-day commercial operations? Does it suit the contractor? How does it hold up? I'll let you know. G'day viewers, Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. 4 decades nearly in the business. I've had a lot of whippersnippers, strimmers, weed whackers, whatever you like to call them, all around the world. I've gone through them all. Generally they've been petrol driven ones, and normally I've got about 2 years out of it. Well, today I'm going to do a 4-year review of this battery operated line trimmer that I bought 4 years ago, and I'll let you know the verdict. I bought it back then because battery was starting to come onto the market. Nowadays there's a lot of different companies that are selling different types, different brands, and there's a good selection. 4 years ago there wasn't as many, but still there was quite a few. I picked Husqvarna, and before I go on, I've got no affiliation with Husqvarna. I'm getting nothing from them about it. They probably don't even know who I am. I wish they did, because I'd certainly try out their products, but no, seriously. I bought it mainly because Husqvarna's got a good name. It's very well engineered products that they sell. But what really got me was the 20% discount, which still applies to this very day for ABN or business registered owners in Australia. They give us a 20% discount. So for $600 or $700 that we pay, that's quite a substantial reduction in the price. Now, this Husqvarna 325iLK is still sold to this very day, and they have now upgraded it to the 525, and it's got a few modifications. But generally, this line trimmer is still on the market as we speak. So today's review is on a product which is 4 years old. Now, reviews on this have been plentiful over the years, but mainly recent reviews that they've only had it for 6 months. I think we had a review, someone did one at 2 years, which was a very good, Lover Lawns, I think their channel's called. He does some really great reviews of products. So I'm going to do one at 4 years, because I reckon after 4 years, you've got a pretty good idea if it's really any good. So what is a Husqvarna 325iLK battery line trimmer? Well, it's a multi trimmer, so I can take the trimmer head off. I can put a pole saw. I can put any product that Husqvarna has on their line from their petrol version. I can put the edger on it, the hedger, the pole saw, as I said before, and any other product. Very easy to use, and I think it's such a versatile machine, multis. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do use multis. I've always had them. I think it's just so easy to use. Just take out one power unit. That's all I need to take. If I've got space as a problem, I can take that off and I can put that into a toolbox if I want to. Normally, I put that on a back of my ute, and it's hung up by the hooks, and I put a cover over it to protect it from the elements. Now, as you can see, this one, after 4 years, I give it a bit of a clean, because I thought if it was going out and we're going to show off, I needed to make sure it was relatively clean. So it scrubbed it pretty well. Now, I've hammered this thing every day for 4 years. Well, not every day, but every working day for 4 years. And I've found that it's very strong. I've dropped it. It's fell off the ute. It's fell down on the ground. No cracks. I can't even find, there might be the odd scratch, but they are really, really tough and very versatile and so light. They weigh 3.4 kilos without the battery. I use a 5AH battery, which is only 1.3 kilos, so that brings it up to 4.4 kilos. Or if you want to use a bigger battery, which will last longer, of course, it weighs 1.9 kilos. You add on a couple of kilos extra to the skin. So having said that, it's still much lighter, half a kilo to a kilo lighter than a lot of the petrol whippersnippers. I think the lightest one, I've got a backup Echo one petrol. I only do that because if I run out of juice with the batteries, which I never have, or if something happened, I've got a standby. I like to start at the petrol whippersnipper now and again. Yes, I know you haters out there on batteries. Look, it's just an absolute game changer. I'll start the petrol one up, and do you reckon the noise? I can't believe I've ever used it. This thing, it's just so quiet. I just can't believe you don't even need earmuffs. I do wear them, but you don't really need earmuffs. They're as powerful as a petrol. They're a 25cc on the highest setting. So I normally, and I'll go through this in a minute about the settings. So it's as powerful as a petrol whippersnipper. It is expensive. The actual unit itself is $600 or $700 without the batteries. This is Australian dollars. Now the batteries for a 5AH costs $250. With the 20% off, well, that brings it down. Or it's I think $400 for the bigger battery, the 9AH battery, which is. But again, take that 20% off, and it brings it down. So I've got a bag full of small. I use the light batteries because I'm getting old, and the extra kilo I do notice a bit of difference. You young blokes out there wouldn't worry, but I like using the 5. Just that I've got to use a couple more. That's all. I can use probably 3 of these 5AH maximum a day. A lot of times I might only use one. It just depends on what I'm doing. I do a lot of the edging with my atom edger, although now I've got the stick edger that I put on this. I can do a lot of edging with this, and it's so quiet. The customers love it. So the beauty of it is it's so light, and it's just so well balanced. Now the features of this, as I said before, it's split, so it's a multi-tool. Batteries are very easy to take out. Put these on the charger. Within 80% can be achieved within half an hour. In 30 minutes, you've got 80% capacity. So if you are short on batteries and you take your charger out on the job, most houses have got outdoor power points. You could charge that up while you're doing lawn on the other batteries, if you like. So within half an hour, you've got 80% capacity. Some guys run inverters in their utes or vans to charge on the go. I've never found it. Like I live, a good 30, 40 minutes away from home on my jobs, and I've never had to. I've never run out of batteries. As I say, I've got enough to keep me going, and I've worked that out over the time. Every now and again, I'll buy an extra battery when it's on special or something like that. Batteries, 5 years of recharging. That's what they say they'll do. Now I've done 4 years, and I've never had an issue with a battery whatsoever. They operate in all conditions, operate in 40-degree heat. Now, sometimes, that might be more than 40 degrees if it's out in direct sunlight. Also, I've operated in below zero temperatures as well. Never found an issue with it. It's been really great. The other features with it, it's got a panel on the front here, and the panel gives you battery strength. It shows you how much you got batteries. And it'll got 3 settings. So it's got low, medium, and high. Now, I've never had to use the high setting. Maybe if I had tall, long grass, I'll put it on the high setting, but very rarely I use it. If I'm using the pole saw, I'll use a high setting on that to give a cleaner cut of the what I'm cutting. But generally, I'm operating on low, the most low mode that I use, number 1, and that does the edges and trims around all the fence lines. Really good. The other thing I like about it is the guard. You can see through the guard. In other words, it's not a big, huge guard on it. Husqvarna have done that well. As you can see, when you're looking through it, you can see down through there quite easily, and you haven't got that block, so you can actually see what you're strimming. The only alteration I've done with this is I'll put on a speed head. For those that you don't know, a speed head is a little unit. I use the 325, the small one, and it's a quick loading. So when you run out, it's a matter of threading through the cord, winding it up, and it's done. So you don't have to pull it all apart. It's just through the outlets, wind it up, and it's done. Speed heads. If you haven't got one, have a look into it. They're really, really great. So do I think that this can stand up commercially? Absolutely. I've used this for 4 years. Never had one issue whatsoever. It's never been into the shop. There's no maintenance. I'll give it a bit of a blow if there's any dust. The only thing I do, and which you should do on all whippersnippers, is that the grease point, you should pack that with grease from time to time, because that gearbox does get warm. High temperature grease that you can put into the gearbox. So it's important that you change it. I do it every 6 months, and I've never done a gearbox. So that's the original from four years ago. I will buy the 525. It's an upgrade. It's got a few extra features. I think they've got a plate on the bottom. Look, I don't really think that's necessary, because look, it just hasn't what I've got here. It's suited me fine. It's been fantastic. I think they've got a few little technical with the line feed, a few adjustments like that, and I think it's called fully commercial. They don't call this fully commercial, but trust me, it is. It really does. It really does the commercial really well. I can knock over 10 lawns in a day. I can use 2 batteries, maybe 3 at the times. That's the thing. But if I use the larger battery, it's equal to a tank and a half of a petrol whippersnipper. So just think about how many tanks you use for 10 lawns. My lawns, as I say, they're not that big. I'm normally using the edger, although, as I say, now that I use the stick edger, using a little bit more battery now. But if you're thinking about turning to battery, these you can still buy. Husqvarna still sell them. They're only, I think, about $100, $150 cheaper than the new model out. But one thing about it, after 4 years, it hasn't had a problem. When they introduce a new product with the 525, and I'm pretty sure it's okay, I know this is all right, but I will buy the 525, and hopefully if I'm around, I'll give you a full review on the 525, and this will be 8 years. So that'll be a good review, wouldn't it? So I don't know whether I'll be around in 4 years doing this, but who knows? But as I say, it's really something to think about. The skeptics of battery, look, I can't stress more than how I found this a game changer. All the other old gardeners like myself, we all say the same thing. An absolute game changer. Really made a difference to our operation. No vibration. You know, we don't have to worry about getting pins and needles. There's no fumes, no noise. It's just brilliant. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And some comments. I'd like to hear your comments on your batteries. Look, there's other models. Ego, there's Crest, there's Still. There's dozens of different types. Milwaukee's and Makitas. It's just a lot of different brands. Everybody has got their preferences. Mine's a Husqvarna, but you know, there's probably just as good of brands out there as well. I always stick to something I know. I like to keep the same brand for my batteries, so I can use. You know, I've got the hedger, the chainsaw, the blowers, and we'll do a review on the hedger too in times to come, because it's also 4 years old. So I'll give you some little story on that one as well. And please share and like, and we'll see you on the next video. And thanks for watching again. See you later, guys and girls. Bye.